Once upon a time, this dark, sticky, foul-smelling liquid was considered nothing more than a useless nuisance. Today, it controls global economies, powers industries, and shapes modern civilization. We call it crude oil. What makes crude oil truly remarkable is that almost nothing from it goes to waste. Through refining, crude oil can be transformed into essential fuels like LPG gas, gasoline, diesel, kerosene, and furnace oil. Beyond fuel, it also produces asphalt for building roads, lubricants that keep machines running smoothly, wax used in candles, and petroleum jelly used in cosmetics and skincare. Even more surprising, crude oil is the foundation of the modern petrochemical industry. The plastics we use every day, synthetic fabrics, fertilizers that grow our food, and even many medicines all depend on crude oil. In short, much of our modern world stands on this single resource. But here's the real question. How does crude oil actually form deep beneath the earth, and how do we extract it from miles underground? Let's explore the fascinating science and history behind crude oil. The use of natural oil dates back thousands of years. Around 4,000 years ago, people in ancient Mesopotamia used naturally seeping oil, especially asphalt, to build walls and waterproof boats. Ancient Egyptians used oily substances to preserve mummies and even for medicinal purposes. Historical records suggest that as early as 347 AD, people in China drilled shallow wells using bamboo pipes to collect oil. They burned the oil to produce heat, which helped evaporate water quickly during salt production. However, the modern oil industry truly began in 1859 when the first commercial oil well was drilled in Pennsylvania in the United States. At that time, the main demand for oil came from one simple need: lighting the night. Long before electricity, people relied on burning natural materials to produce light, but wood fires produced very little brightness. Eventually, people discovered that animal fat burned much brighter. In North America, there was a small fish known for its high oil content. People dried the fish, inserted a wick, and used it as a natural candle. It became known as the candlefish. Later, whale oil became the dominant source of lighting. Whales contained large amounts of oil that burned clean and bright. Between 1700 and 1750, the whale trade expanded from local markets to global commerce. By the early 1800s, major cities like London, Paris, and New York depended on whale oil to light their streets. But heavy hunting pushed many whale species close to extinction. Then, everything changed. In 1846, a scientist discovered a method to produce a new fuel called kerosene from a type of coal. Kerosene burned brighter, produced less smoke, and cost much less than whale oil. As kerosene became widely available, the demand for whale oil rapidly declined, saving countless whales from extinction. Soon after, scientists realized that kerosene could be refined from crude oil. This discovery sparked a surge in oil exploration and drilling. Crude oil forms from the remains of tiny marine plants and animals that lived millions of years ago. When these organisms died, they sank to the bottom of oceans and lakes. In places where oxygen was limited, bacteria could not fully decompose them. Instead, layers of mud and sediment buried the remains. Over millions of years, increasing pressure and heat transformed this organic material into oil and natural gas. This process is extremely slow. It can take anywhere from 1 million to 100 million years for oil to form naturally. Coal, on the other hand, mostly forms from ancient plants. Millions of years ago, dense forests covered large areas of Earth. When those plants died, they were buried under layers of soil and sediment. Heat and pressure gradually turned them into coal. The fossil fuels we use today were created long before humans existed, many during the age of dinosaurs.
Extracting oil is similar to drawing water from deep underground, but much more complex. Engineers drill deep wells into the earth, sometimes reaching depths of 1,000 to 4,000 meters, and in extreme cases, even 6,000 meters. Modern drilling technology allows companies to drill not only straight down, but also sideways, reaching oil deposits spread across large areas. In some locations, natural pressure pushes oil and gas to the surface on its own. In others, pumps are used to bring the oil up. Before drilling begins, scientists perform detailed surveys to locate potential oil reserves. One of the most important techniques is called a seismic survey. This method sends sound waves into the ground and measures how they bounce back from underground rock layers. Using this data, computers create detailed images of the Earth's interior, similar to how ultrasound scans show images inside the human body. After crude oil is extracted, it is transported to a refinery. There, it is heated and separated into different products using a process called fractional distillation. Each product forms at a different temperature. Light gases become LPG used for cooking. Gasoline powers cars and motorcycles. Naphtha becomes raw material for plastics and chemicals. Kerosene fuels aircraft. Diesel runs trucks and heavy machinery. Lubricating oil protects engines. Furnace oil powers ships and large industrial systems. Asphalt is used to build roads. Crude oil plays a critical role beyond transportation and energy. Many fertilizers are produced using chemicals derived from natural gas and petroleum. These fertilizers increase crop yields and support global food production. Petrochemicals are also used to manufacture medicines, disinfectants, and medical equipment. Without petroleum products, modern healthcare would look very different. Despite its benefits, crude oil has serious environmental consequences. Burning fossil fuels releases carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas that traps heat in the atmosphere. This contributes to global warming and climate change. Oil spills can damage ecosystems, pollute oceans, and harm wildlife. Air pollution from fuel combustion can also affect human health. For these reasons, scientists and governments around the world are searching for cleaner energy sources. Crude oil transformed human civilization. It saved whales from extinction, powered the Industrial Revolution, and built the modern world. But the future may depend on how wisely we use it and how quickly we find alternatives. Because the same resource that fueled progress could also shape the fate of our planet.